So please mention if you have any aches or pains, any concerns that are different from last time I saw you. So sit in Sukhasana. And just rest here before we even start to cultivate the pose. Just feel your body as a whole and just notice how you're sitting without judgment. Just notice whatever needs to be adjusted to really create the posture Sukhasana. So first of all, we're just noticing. So notice what you need to do to improve the posture, to refine it. And then with your next out breath, do those adjustments. So you might have released the legs down, lift the armpit chest, broaden the collarbones, taken the back of the head back, and moved the base of the neck vertebra into the body, the seventh cervical. Move it into the body as you lift the armpits and take the shoulder bones back. Then notice your breathing again. Then with your next exhalation, fold your palms at your heart. And as you rest your awareness inwards, allow your eyelids to close. So feel your body as a whole. So you're feeling your body in the posture, which is Sukhasana. Then whatever refinements you need to do, try not to do them as a jerk reaction. Try to do them with your exhalation, so that we're not fidgeting, we're consciously moving. And then begin to notice your body breathing. And see if you can feel the movement of your breathing in your abdomen. And then we'll chant together, maintaining this internal view of the body as a whole, but also feeling the out breath in the belly. Exhale. Feeling your out breath in your abdomen. When you next exhale, roll the shoulders back and bow your head to your heart. Move that seventh cervical into the body, the base of the neck, top of the shoulders. Shoulder blades in, sacrum in. And then rest your hands down Gently open your eyes, raise your head up, stretch out your legs. Let's come up to standing. Grab your chair. If you've not got a chair, you can work with the wall to begin with, and then you'll work with the sofa. So we're going to do Adho Uttanasana. So in Uttanasana, standing forward bend, the hips and the ankles are in line. So the first one is with the hands to the top of the chair. So have a look and see whether your ankles and your outer hips are in line. Make sure that you're not leaning your pelvis back. Engage the leg muscles and get some length. Ears in line with your upper arms. And then feel your out breath in your abdomen. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart. You can just have your feet slightly further back so that they're directly under the hips. How come you've not moved your feet? If you don't want to move your feet, you need to take your hands more to the wall, because at the moment you're leaning back.
I can't hear you very well. I don't know if it's my laptop or yours.
Oh, okay, thank you.
But that's why I keep turning around, looking, going, oh.
Really? Oh, how weird.
I can hear you when I'm really close to the laptop.
Your sounds is okay, Sarah. Maybe the
Some,
Have you got any volume control?
yeah.
And stand up. So, Akiko and Ike, how's the volume? Is it normal or?
yeah. I mean, I can hear you normally. I'm trying to think what happened to Alison, because it usually the microphone that have the problem that when you walk away, sometimes it's actually a noise cancellation. But yeah, maybe if you can maybe push up the volume. But
if you put up the volume to full, then I don't know whether there's much we can do, but I'll just speak a little bit louder and see if that helps. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is with the hands on the seat of the chair. So again, the feet are directly underneath the hips. So stand with your ankles directly underneath your hips, and then take your hands forwards. So be careful that you don't lean your hips back. Have your legs directly upright, perpendicular, and just stretch your arms as far forward as they will go without leaning forward, because engage the leg muscles and just enjoy that length in your trunk. Akiko, just walk your feet back because you're still leaning the legs back. That's it. Make sure that the outer edges of the feet are parallel. See if you can get some space as you lengthen your lower back out of your hips. Good. And then come up. Then simple Uttanasana with the head supported. So if you've got a sofa, you may want to work with the sofa rather than, if you don't have a chair, you'll be working with a sofa or whatever other supports you have near you. So your feet are going to be hip width apart. And then you extend forward and rest your forehead and rest your arms. But still try to get this release of the lower back away from the hips. So this version is with the head supported. Still keep the legs perpendicular. Rest your forehead. And feel your out breath in your abdomen. press the front thighs to the back thighs and spread the backs of the thighs away from each other, from the inside to the outside. So see if you can make any adjustments consciously with the out breath. So your out breath is the center of your attention, and then you're making adjustments to refine the pose, to maintain the pose with that out breath. And we're going to come up in a moment. So with your next out breath, inhale and come up. Now we're going to do leg extensions to the side. So I'm going to work with this tabletop because it's the right height. If you're working with a chair, sometimes the chairs are a little bit low, so you can put a couple of blankets over the top bar to raise the height. In fact, now I'll show you here. So I've raised the height a bit. We're not using any belt, and we place the right foot up on the support, and then I want you to descend the root of the thigh. Okay, so descend the root of the thigh, and then stretch the arms wide. So with your hands on your hips, raise the right leg first, and then descend the root of the thigh. That's it, with your hands on your hips. Have your chair at the wall, like. Can you have the chair at the wall, like? Descend the root of the thigh. So use your hand to descend the root of the right thigh. Right leg up. Right leg first. And stretch your arms wide. Grip both hips in, spread the chest, then feel your out breath. Then lower the arms and leg, turn around, raise the other leg. So when you're working with the wall, you can press the heel onto the blanket and push the foot into the wall. Then with your hands on your hips, descend the left outer hip. And grip the standing hip in. Then spread the arms. Keep the waist back. And release. Lower your arms and your legs. Again, other side. So join your feet. Feel the outer hips are gripping in. Then raise your right leg up, place it on the support, and place the foot against the wall. Then descend the root of this thigh. The root of the lifted thigh, move it down. And move the sacrum forward. So there's this lifted buttock, for most of you it'll be the right leg, is coming underneath you. It feels like it's coming underneath you. And then stretch your arms wide. Keep that right buttock coming underneath you. And then feel your out breath in your abdomen. And use the out breath as the fuel to make any extra adjustments. So if, for example, you need to lift up the front of the pelvis, lift the chest, do that with your out breath. If you want to press the right foot down and lift the crown of the head to the ceiling, do that with your out breath. And then release, lower your leg, turn around, be in Tadasana, grip your hips, then raise the other leg up, descend the root of the thigh, move your sacrum in, so that lifted buttock, for most of you it's your left, comes underneath you. Press the foot down into the blanket, and if you're at a wall, push the foot into the wall as well. So you get the rebound of the outer thigh connecting back into the hip. And then stretch your arms wide. Keep descending the root of that lifted leg thigh. So the heel wants to be on the support, not the Achilles. Then with your next exhalation, lower your arms and your leg. And then you can take your blankets off your chair. We're going to do standing Marichyasana. So if you've not got a chair, you'll be working with whatever firm surface you've got to put your foot on. But if you've got a chair, you're going to be placing it like this, with the chair at the wall and the blocks filling out that gap. Can you see there's a gap between the chair and the wall? So the blocks are filling out the gap between the chair and the wall. So that's 3 blocks. If you're not working with a chair, then position yourself where you can raise your foot up onto a height that's about middle of your thigh level. So set yourselves up, everyone, and then we can move ahead. Good. So you're going to stand right up. I'm going to show you this side so you can see how close to the chair I am. I'm like, my toes are almost underneath the chair, and then you raise up the leg nearest the wall. And then you're going to have your knee touching the wall and your outer hip. Then you stretch the arms up and then slide the hand down and turn towards the wall. So the front hand is nestled in between the wall and the knee, and the right hand is on the wall, and then I pause. Then with the exhalation, we will turn. So have your left foot underneath the chair, so your standing leg is vertical. That you'd probably be fine with just the sofa there rather than the blanket and the block. Raise the right leg up and stretch your arms to the ceiling, Uttanasana. Lift up the front groins. Lengthen the sides of the body. Make sure that your right hip and knee are both touching the wall. Then as you exhale, don't worry if you're not at the wall there, Alison, but I would have your foot not on the blanket because it's a bit slippery. Just have it flat on the sofa, yeah. And then exhale and turn towards the knee and slide the right hand down the wall. Turn to the wall. So slide the right hand down the wall, bend the elbow, that's it. So we're turning towards the wall, right hand slides down the wall with the elbow bent, that's it. And then the left hand is in between the knee and the wall. Then pause and just grow tall to begin with. Then with your exhalation and your abdomen, begin to get the twist. Be careful that you're not leaning away from the wall or towards the wall. Move the left side of your back forwards. Take your right chest back away from the wall. So in a sense, you're trying to bring the left side of your body forwards to the wall and the right side of your body away from the wall. Use your out breath to create the turn. And center. Then lower your leg. So Alison just raised the other leg. The others, you turn around to go to the other side of your chest. So just to refresh your vision of the pose. So we're like this. Then we turn to the wall and the hand comes down the wall. The hand comes down the wall and you push the hand flat into the wall to take the right chest away, and then this side of the body comes forwards towards the wall, but don't let your face touch the wall. Keep your face away from the wall. So raise your arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Turn towards the wall. Bring the left hand down on the wall. Right hand hooks between your knee and the wall. Press the hand flat into the wall to take the left shoulder back and revolve towards the wall. Try to do this with your exhalation. So feel your exhalation in your abdomen. And then use the power of that exhalation to create the rotation. And then release and place your foot back down on the floor and move your blocks off the chair. Now, if you've got a normal yoga chair, there's these lines on the chair. Can you see there's these bars? So we can do dog pose with our hands on the bar. It just gives us a little bit of freedom in the chest. If you don't have a bar, you can just do normal dog pose with your hands at the wall. So when you're working with the wall, the thumb touches the wall and the fingers turn out. And when you do that, the shoulders rotate, the upper arms rotate outwards. But at the same time, the outer upper arm clips. So there's an outward rotation like this. So that's what I'd like you to do, whether you've got your hands at the wall or whether you're holding the bar. So Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step back. Have the thumbs on top of the bar. Then stretch your feet back, press your sides back, make sure your chair is at a wall so it doesn't slide. And then stretch up the inner arm, the outer arm, firm the outer arm in. So there's a sense of almost clipping the outer armpit. Good. And then come out of this pose and stand up. Spin the chair around. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. So if you're not working with a chair, probably best to be with bricks. So have one brick for either hand. But if you've got a coffee table against a wall, that would be good. So you'll be working with the bricks. You place the hands on the bricks, feet hip width apart, and bring your pelvis forwards. Move your sacrum in and lift your chest up. So that's with the bricks. But we're doing it with the chair first because it just gives you a little bit more time for the back to warm up, to wake up. So place your hands on the chair, so you turn the hands outwards like that on the chair. So again, there's this outward rotation in the upper arms. And then swing your pelvis forwards, everyone. Keep the toes tucked under, keep the legs straight, and lift the sides of the chest and roll the shoulders back. Keep the knees away from the floor. And then exhale and press back and stand up. Press back and stand up. So the sacrum is a really important part of this posture. So be careful that you're not doing the pose with the pelvis left behind and working the rest of the body. The engine is here in this posture. So, and the out breath. So exhale and thrust the pelvis forwards from the sacrum. It goes right in. So that's like the prime mover of the pose. So you're bringing that area forwards towards your hands, and the side chest is lifting. Have another go. So you're going from short down position, and then really focus on the movement of the pelvis coming forward and the thighs up, and then come out of the pose. So don't hold it for too long, especially if it's slightly incorrect. If you hold an incorrect pose for a long time, that will hurt. But if you just go in and out of a slightly incorrect pose, there won't be so much harm. Especially not in a pose like this, because it's a beginner's pose. That's it. Really spread the backs of the thighs and move that sacrum into the body. So rather than just focusing on the middle chest, I want the movement happening in the pelvis. That's it, Ike. Pelvis, 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 tailbone in, and then push back and stand up. So just quickly, I think I was going to repeat the leg raise here. Standing leg raise to the side. Yep. So quickly once more. So place your foot back up on the support. Again, without the strap. So right leg up. And then I want you to feel that the sacrum's moving in, coccyx is moving in, and this lifted buttock is almost rolling underneath you. And then stretch up to the ceiling. So I want you to connect the work that we just did in upward facing dog pose with this posture. So descend the root of the thigh, coccyx in, sacrum in, and this lifted buttock must come underneath you. Coccyx into the body. Keep the pelvis pressing forwards, but press the standing thigh back. Press the standing thigh back and then extend your arms to the ceiling. Urdhva Hastas. Sacrum forward, thigh back. And release. Lower the arms and legs. Other side. Turn around. So raise your leg up. So position the body and then focus in on the specific movement, which is sacrum into the body, coccyx in and up. Roll that lifted. You keep doing your right leg second, Ike. It's really weird. Unless you're mirrored. No, you're not mirrored. Try and do the right leg first if you can. So roll that buttock underneath you. Coccyx in, and then stretch the arms to the ceiling. And feel your abdomen breathing, feel the exhalation there. And release. Join your feet, and then move your chair off your mat. And we're going to do upward facing dog pose, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, with the bricks. So we're just going to do it the once. So coming from upward facing dog is I find it helpful because the thighs are pressing back to the wall behind you and the legs are still working, but now I've got to move my sacrum into my body, but keep the backs of the thighs broad, keep them pressing up to the ceiling. But bring the pelvis forward and get a strong lift of the front of the pelvis up. So first of all, we're in dog pose, Adho Mukha, and now we're going to come to Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. So keep the front thighs pressing back and then move your pelvis forwards, swing it forwards, walk your toes forwards towards your brick so you can bring your pelvis towards your hands. Walk your feet forwards and bring your pelvis towards your hands, thighs up to the ceiling. Sacrum in, coccyx in, lift the front of the pelvis up. Then with your exhalation, push back into downward, facing dog pose. Open up the armpits, press the front thighs to the back thighs, and then step forwards to come up. So we're going to continue now with a few standing postures using the wall. So keep your mat at the wall and get a brick. If you don't have a brick, then you can have a few foam pads. So I'm going to show you facing you so you can see how I've got my foot at the wall. Actually, no, I'm going to have my back to you. So the outer edge of the foot cuts down at the wall. And then at this point, it's this area again that needs to move in. So the sacrum moves in, coccyx in, which is much lower, and this buttock rolls underneath. So the hip is gripping in. And then you can stretch over. But I really want you to organise the pelvis before you stretch the arm. So have the left foot at the wall and have the right leg into the room. I know you can't see my head, but it just means that you can see my body much bigger. Have the outer edge of the foot down at the wall and turn the right heel in and the toes out. Now even here, can you feel the grip in the outer hips? Sacrum into the body, and the tailbone moves in and up. So there's a firmness in the lower buttocks. Then stretch your arms. Exhale to bend the knee. And as you bend the knee, keep feeling this outer hips gripping in, sacrum moving in, stay in contact with the wall. So you're free at this point because your legs are working. You could do anything with your arms. There's freedom because this left foot is touching the wall. And then take your hand to your brick. And move this right hip underneath you. Firm the lower buttocks. Take the left top waist back, left waist back. No, right waist back. And stretch up and over. Left waist back. Sacrum into the body. Do you need to have such a big height? Could you have the hand lower but still keep the openness in the chest? Keep moving that pelvis forward and resist with the left thigh back. Pelvis forward, thigh back. Feel it. And inhale to come up. And the other side. So press the outer edge of the foot down, rotate the left thigh out, stretch your arms, and again feel your abdomen, feel the out breath in your abdomen. So you're organising the posture from your out breath located in your belly. Then with your next exhalation, bend the left knee. Keep that outer edge of that right foot pressing at the wall. Feel how stable you are. See how free the upper body is. And keep moving the coccyx into the body as you take the hand to the floor or the brick on the outside of that left leg. Move the coccyx in. Move the sacrum in. That's it. Really good there, Alison. And then stretch the top arm up and over with your next out breath. So every movement is coming from the out breath in the belly. Feel your body as a whole. Then with your inhalation, come up. Inhale to come up. It's funny, you didn't hear that. That's weird, isn't it? Turn your feet forward and join your legs. There seems to be a little bit of a sound issue. I think you're right. Okay, and then stand in Tadasana. Arms by your side. Stand tall. Sacrum in, frontal thighs back. Can you feel that relationship? Sacrum in, thighs back. Okay, so we're now going to come to Adho Chandrasana with the wall. So just have a little look here because we're doing it slightly differently than we've done before, because we're going to have the foot on the wall. So in order to have the foot on the wall, you actually have to do a short triangle pose. Can you see how it's a very short triangle pose? So I'm not even going to really go into it, just put my hand down, but then I bend the knee and place my hand on the brick. Now for me, I need it a little bit lower, not on its full height. And then I slide my foot. Can you see my foot is just sliding up the wall? So I've got loads of time because I can balance because my foot is on the wall. And then I bring my foot up and press the foot into the wall, grip the standing hip in, move it underneath me. So this standing buttock is as if it's rolling forwards and the thigh is rotating outwards. And this thigh is pressing back and the sacrum is moving in. And then you can stretch the arm up. So this standing leg buttock has to really work. And you've also got the wall to really spread the sole of the lifted foot and spread the back of the thigh. So we kind of miss out the triangle pose stage so that we can have the foot at the wall. If you've not got a wall that's accessible or door, then you can do it freestanding. We're going to raise up the the left leg first. So have the wall on your left side. So we're going to go, sorry, wait a second. We're going to go this way. Sorry, so the wall's on this side. I didn't need to change. So be in a short triangle pose. Doesn't matter about this foot, doesn't have to touch the wall or anything, it's just where it is. Turn the right leg out. That's it, and then stretch your arms. And then look down at that right foot and have you actually turned it out so that it's parallel to your mat, because that's the leg that you're going to be putting all your weight on and the outer hip needs to grip in. So Alison, just adjust your foot so the heel is in line with the arch of the left foot. So bring the foot more forward, the right foot more forward to the front of your mat, towards me. That's it. So it's in line with the arch of your left foot. There you go. Now everyone rotate the right thigh outwards more and more. Turn it outwards, which is that way, outwards. Rotate it out, that's it. And stretch your arms. And then extend to the side and take your hand to the brick and raise your leg up the wall. If you've got the distance wrong, just come down and adjust the distance. So I come down and go closer to the wall. Like you're a bit far from the wall, I think. Just come down a little bit, bring the foot down. Don't have the toes parallel. You might just need to come in a tiny bit, it's just the foot was a little bit on the high side. And press the foot into the wall and move the sacrum in. Can you really firm that standing buttock? Good. Firm that standing buttock. Your foot's way too high, Ike. It's distorting your... That's better. Press the foot flat into the wall. Now grip that standing hip in. And then exhale to come down. Working with the wall is much harder work when you work with the foot up. So Akiko, you stayed there for ages, so well done. When I do it, whenever I do it, I get this incredible aching in the standing buttock. So if you had that, then that's normal. So well done. Let's do the other side. So be at the wall, and remember it's a short Trikonasana position, and move the sacrum into the body. So step your feet apart, turn the right foot in, the left leg out. And now remember, your weight is going to be on that left leg. You're relying on the rotation of that left thigh outwards. So make sure you've turned the foot well enough. Rotate, rotate, rotate. That's it. And stretch your arms. Press the right hand on the wall and move the shoulder blade into the body. And then go to the side. And take your hand to the brick and raise the leg up the wall. Not so high, Ike. That's it. It's sort of a gradual line along the body, because you want to keep this left outer hip moving towards the right heel. Now move the left butt away from me. Can you take the hand down, Alison? That's it. That's it. Grip that standing hip in, but press the lifted thigh back. Coccyx into the body. Bend your standing leg very slightly, Akiko, that calf. Yes, now it's straight. Then with your exhalation, bend your knee and slide your foot down the wall to come up to standing. Turn your feet and join your legs. Be in Tadasana. And just come to the screen so you can just see here. So this is just a picture of the posture without the arm up. So there's a kind of gentle diagonal line. Can you see? A gentle diagonal line. But see how much space there is between this armpit and this hip. There's lots of space, isn't there? Really, really long. Okay, so Adho Mukha Svanasana with your hands on bricks now. Spread the palms, move the shoulder blades into the body, lift the hips up. Now draw the trapezius up your back. Try and get that outward rotation of the upper arms. So there's breadth across the shoulders. Then you could, that's it. Then you can lift the shoulder muscles up. Be longer in your stride, Ike. That's it. So you can get the lift in the hips and the release in the lower back. That's it. And then connect with your out breath in your abdomen. Locate it, feel it, work with it to improve the posture or to deepen your experience within the posture. And then step forwards or bend your knees to come down and then stand up. So we're moving forwards to Pincha Mayurasana. So fold your mat in half and half again. So I'm going to show this to you with my elbows. This is an elbow balance. My elbows are on the edge of the mat. The reason for that is it actually makes it slightly easier to lift the shoulders. So my elbows are up on a bit of height and my hands are at the wall and my fingers turn out like this. Now what tends to happen is that when we lift the knees up, the elbows go out and the hands come in. Sort of this sort of thing happens. So a brick is actually really handy. So you have a brick like this, so that you go up to lift the hips up, and see how my shoulders are moving them away from the wall, and lift my hips up off my waist. And then stretch one leg and down, stretch the other leg and down and come down. Okay. If you can kick up, then kick up. But we'll do it once with the leg extending first. So you have a brick, don't you? Yeah, good. So Alison, because you're not at the wall, you're not going to kick your legs up because that would require you to balance. So keep one foot on the floor at all times. Yeah, cool. So press your elbows onto the very edge of the mat so that you get a lift in the shoulders. Press the thumbs down in front of the bricks and the fingers around the sides of the bricks. Then lift your knees off the floor, keep the head off the floor, and lift your shoulders up. Move your chest towards your legs, move your armpits towards your legs, and go right onto the tips of your toes and lift your hips so much and walk in so much so that your hips are above your armpits. And then if you need to rest, come down. And then again, you're going to do. So walk in and lift the hips up, and then straight legs, extend one leg and then the other, and then come down. The elbows are not separating. Be on the outer edge of the, scoot the skin of the elbow in so you're on the sharp edge of the elbow. And if you can kick up, and you've done it before, then keep the thumbs down, keep the elbows down, and then take your legs to the wall. And then stretch your heels up the wall and lift your shoulders, open up your armpits. Move the sacrum into the body and move the thighs back. Keep lifting up. Move your ribs away towards the wall. Bring your ribs into your body as you stretch your heels up. And then stretch your legs down to come down. And then we'll just rest in Uttanasana. So be in Uttanasana, so legs straight, and extend the body down. Have the fingertips on the floor and lift your shoulder muscles up away from the ears. Hands beside your feet. Legs straight, Uttanasana. Crown of the head down. Firm the thigh muscles up to the hip. Feel your out-breath in your abdomen. And then you're going to come up, so let your exhalation initialize the movement, but you'll probably come up on an in-breath. Good. Now, Shushasana, for those who do headstand. And if you're not doing headstand, you're going to do a seated twist, which is sitting on between your feet in Virasana on a block or whatever you need. And then turning to the right, turning to the left. So Shushasana, have your mat at the wall now with the small gap between the wall and the mat. If you can balance in the middle of the room, then do in the middle of the room. Then place your elbows directly under your shoulders and slide the skin of your elbows inside, so you're on the very outer edge of the elbow. And actually, you're not on the outer edge. You're on the centre of the elbow, but you've scooped the flesh of the skin to the inside. Then press your wrists down. And walk in, lift the shoulders, lift the hips, really lift the hips up, move the shoulders away from the wall. That's it, Akiko. You're really starting to get that lift in the hips now. And then with your exhalation, take one leg up, then the other. With your exhalation. That's it. That's it, Alison. Sacrum into the body, thighs back. Keep the sides of your waist back and feel your X, and then repeat, Alison, once more, both sides. Feel your exhalation in your abdomen, everyone, and let it be the engine of the pose you're in. Keep the ribs back. Keep the shoulders lifting. Keep the outer upper arms gripping in and lengthen the inner leg all the way to the inner heel. Keep rolling the thighs in. Spread the backs of your thighs. Keep the ribs in. And then with your next exhalation, keep the height of the pose, keep the lift in the shoulders, and bring your legs down. Keep the lift in the shoulders. That's it, Akiko. Lift of the shoulders. Well done. There. Lovely. And then rest in Adho Mukha Virasana. And Alison, stretch out your legs. And then grab your bolster and 2 foam pads, 2 bricks. So the others are resting in Adho Mukha Virasana. And then once you're done, come up and we'll do a Viparita Dandasana with the chair. So here's your 2 blocks like that, Alison. And then if you've got these type, the bricks, they go either side, like that. So Akiko and Ike, I think you both have a yoga chair, so grab your yoga chair. And Alison will work with the bolster on top of the blocks. And then fold your mat up and put it on the seat of the chair, the others. So just watch a sec, Alison. So what you're going to do is, ideally you'd be able to put your feet at that sofa. So let's see how we go. So you're going to slide your shoulders, you're going to coil your shoulders over the edge of the mat, of the bolster, and bring the back of your head to the floor. And then you straighten the legs. So I'm too close to the wall, so I need to come down and straighten and give more space. But so it's this position where your shoulders are curving over, but make sure that your shoulders are not coming up to the ceiling like this. They've got to go down around the bolster like that, but they're not on the floor. And if it's too much for your back, you can just do it with your knees bent. And then to come out, you slide back like that. So the other 2, we're going to be doing it with the chair. So any time you need to come out of it, Alison, you just come out of the pose. That's it. So curve over the edge of the bolster, but be careful that you don't go too far, because then you'll have to start again. So place your folded mat on the chair, the others. Sorry if you've already done that. I'm just catching up. And have the chair back to the wall. That's it, Alison. Yeah, that's it. Don't go too much over. Don't go too much over. So you could keep the knees bent. Have the feet directly underneath the knees. That's it. But your shoulders look like they've come onto the ground a bit too much. It looks more like a bridge pose. So come down again and try to be more slide backwards rather than rolling sideways. Have a look at what we're going to do with the chair, and then you'll see why you're doing it in the way that I'm asking. Because when we work with the bolster, it looks a bit like bridge pose, but actually it's not. We're trying to do it like this. So I often need a little bit of height from my feet as well to straighten the legs. So you lie down on the chair with the knees bent. And my bum is slightly off the chair, holding the arms. And then I coil, just like that bolster, I coil the shoulders over the edge of the chair. But at the same time, I'm making sure my buttocks are lengthening towards my feet. So can you see I'm not arching my lower back at all? All the arching is happening here in my upper back. And then the head just hangs. It's comfortable because I've rolled the shoulders. So I'm on the bottom of the shoulder blade, and then I straighten the legs, press the thighs down, and then I get the openness just like in upward facing dog pose. And then to come up, I bring the hands a bit higher up, bend the knees, bring my body onto the chair and lead with the chest to sit up. Okay? So sit through your chair. If you know that you need to have extra height for your feet, have extra height for your feet. Then lie down, moving your buttocks slightly off the chair so you can get your shoulders onto the very edge. And then coil your shoulders over the edge of the chair and just enjoy that opening. So you do need to slide off a bit so that you're on the bottom of the shoulder blade. So slide off the chair a bit so that you're on the bottom shoulder blade, so your chest is coiling over the edge of the chair. Coil the shoulders. Use the hands on the chair to adjust the shoulders like Tadasana. And then once you're on the bottom shoulder blade, straighten the legs. And if you're a bit close, then come either slide off a bit more if you're not quite onto the bottom shoulder blade, or slide back onto the chair and sit up. Bring your buttocks back onto the chair. That's it. Lead with the chest to sit up, not the head. Lead with the chest to sit up. And then adjust and have another go. So knees bent. Make sure you're rolling the thighs in there, Alison. And coil over the edge of the bolster or the chair. Yes, really broaden the collarbones. Do this with the knees bent to begin with. Keep the hold of the chair arms to roll the shoulders over the edge. And then with the feet on the floor, extend over. Press the thighs down, extend the legs. Can you extend the legs? Like upward facing dog pose. Press the thighs down, roll the thighs in. And then feel your out breath in your abdomen. And then we're going to come out. So with your next out breath, you're going to bend your knees and rest your feet to the floor. And then you're going to come slightly onto the chair. So you're going to slide off, Alison, backwards, yeah. The others, you're going to slide onto the chair until your buttocks are on the chair, and then you're going to lift the face a little bit, but you want to lead with the chest to come up. Lead with the chest. You can push your hand onto the seat to help. And then sit up onto the seat. Always come up with the knees bent, Ike. So try not to lean forwards when you come out, just be upright. because if we're doing more back bends, then if you've gone forwards, then you've undone the work that we've just done. And then sit up and step out of the chair. So we're going to come to Supta Virasana, but I just want to quickly show you. I'm not sure whether you've been told to do that, but when you come out, it's kind of a press the elbows down, lead with the chest, and you can use your hand. That's the trick of the hand there, people, because that's quite hard going. So there's this, press the elbows, lead with the chest, and then you get your hand in there. That helps you to do the last bit. And then you just sit upright, and if at all, you just slightly lean forwards, but you never would drop your head over the chair unless it's specifically been told. Okay, so open out your mat. We're still working with the support of the chair, and have a belt as well. Place the belt around the back of the chair. Don't worry about the belt thing in the chair there, Alison. You can work with the sofa. So grab your bolster and put it on top of the sofa, on the seat. And we're going to put our bolster on the seat of our chair. So this is just quite a nice way of working in Supta Virasana, especially for those who find it quite hard because their knees are stiff and they need to sit on quite a few blocks. So I'm going to sit on 2 blocks just because it shows how you can do it with sitting up on a couple of blocks. So can you see how this bolster is in my upper back? It's sliding a bit though, which is a bit of a pain. So I'm going to move my chair to the wall. This is just a refinement, but at least I don't want to show something incorrect. Not knowingly anyway. Unknowingly I surely am telling you things incorrectly, probably. But at least knowingly, I'm going to blocks to just squash that, to just stop that bolster from sliding back. There we go. But I've still got my belt to catch hold of. The mat there is just for stopping the wall getting stained. So same for you. You may need to adjust a bit. So now when I go back, the shoulder blades are on that bolster. And I've realised now I need a blanket for my head. And so I'm placing that on top. So it's in some ways it's a bit more like Paryankasana because we're doing it more like a back bend to begin with. So arch over the edge, head supported on the blanket, arms extending. Now I've got the wall, I don't even need to hold the belt, but you can hold the belt if you can find it, and you have both hands on the belt like a joint fist and extend the arms back. Now this bolster is a tiny bit high for me, but at least it's opening the armpits. Have a go. That's it, rest the head, make sure the head's high enough and extend the arms back. So feel how you're opening up your chest and then exhale. If you've already been there for a little bit, Alison, bring your arms back down and lift your face to come up, and then adjust your legs so that your thighs are parallel rather than out like that. So you're in a really stable Virasana, and then extend back. It looks like you need a bit more height maybe for your head, Akiko, just a little bit more perhaps. See how you go. If it's okay, then no, that's fine. Then catch hold of the belt with both hands and enjoy that opening of the armpit chest And then again, feel your out breath. And any refinements, anything that happens in the posture, let it come from this out breath. Seventh cervical into the body. And then exhale, raise your arms up and bring your arms down by your side and sit up. So now you're going to do Supta Virasana reclining on a bolster, so flat. But if you need to stay up on a height, then you just need to double up the blankets a bit and possibly adjust the height so you can be more in a reclining position. So I brought my buttocks a little bit forwards, so I'm here. So this is Virasana reclining if you can't recline on the floor. Maybe just have a little bit more height under your head there. So for those who are able to work with the floor, then move your bolster off your chair, place it on the ground, have your blanket on top, and then sit down in Virasana between your feet, and then extend along the bolster. So what makes this more like a Virasana than a Paryankasana is the ribs. So we're not arching the back. Even though the spine is in, these ribs want to be spreading, so you shouldn't really be able to see them. Yeah, so when I lie down, I've got to keep the diaphragm spreading so there's no lift here. So like Gita said once, no two breasts. So there's one mound of the breasts or the nipples, and then there shouldn't be a second mound. So when you go down, really spread the sacrum, broaden the back from the center to the outside, and lower yourself down. Akiki, you've definitely understood that since I saw yesterday. So that's really good. And then rest your arms by your side. So again, we're keeping it, it's a much more quiet posture. So feel your body in this posture, and before you make any more refinements, notice your out breath in your abdomen. And then from the energy and the awareness of the out breath, make any adjustments, like keeping the shins pressing down, outer ankles gripping in, outer corners of the shoulders going down, sides, armpit, chest lifting up. Ribs broadening, diaphragm broadening. Do this all with your out breath. And then just be with your breathing. And then again, you can recycle those actions, but in a more refined way. So for example, with this out breath, inner groins down. With this out breath, navel broadens to the waist. With this out breath, diaphragm broadens. Next out breath, shoulders roll down so the arms can roll out, so you're really on the center of the back of both hands. And then wait and watch and feel. And then with your next exhalation, perhaps relax the skin of your face. So watch, feel, and then make your adjustments. Or just watch and feel. Ten more seconds. And then press your hands down. So with your next exhalation, sit up. And then we'll come into Adho Mukha Virasana. So from here itself, stretch forward. So we're doing Adho Mukha Virasana from that classical Virasana position. Sorry if you couldn't hear. So sitting classical Virasana. So sit between the feet. That's it, and then go forward from there. What it does is it lifts the inner knees. But it's slow to go because your back will take a while. Don't just go with the head, just be where you get to. Stretch the arms forward. It might not go that far. Sometimes the back takes a while. Don't force anything. But it's a good way to release the back and to lift the inner knees. But of course, if you can, go down. And then you're going down. Spread your back. Lengthen your armpits. Feel your navel, feel your out breath there. And then inhale to come up and stretch out your legs. So we come to shoulder stand and Halasana. So set yourself up with your normal shoulder stand equipment, but we're going to do Halasana, bringing our feet up onto the chair. Go up when you're ready and make sure your chair is an arm's distance from where you're lying so you know that your feet will touch it. So yeah, that chair is arm's distance from where you're lying, or the sofa is arm's distance from where you're lying. so that you can take your feet over onto it. Then have a launch pad or a bolster to help you to go up. That's it, just swing your kit round there. Have you got a chair for your feet, or are you going to work with the sofa, Alison? So if you're going to put your feet onto the sofa, just swing your kit round so that your head is near the sofa. That's it, just spin the whole lot round. So go into Halasana and put on any belts, feet up on the chair. Feet up on the chair, hips to the ceiling, back lifting. That's it, Alison, perfect. It'll be worth it once you go up and you realise you've got nice height for your feet. And with the height for the feet, see how well you can all lift the hips up. Can you take the feet onto the chair, onto the sofa? And press the toes down and press the thighs to the ceiling and lengthen your back towards your buttocks, towards your feet. So spread the back towards the buttocks, towards the feet. That's it. But keep the outer hips above the armpits. Then once you've interlaced your fingers and press the arms down and change the interlace both sides, you can then support your back with your hands and go up into shoulder stand. Then just be there, don't make any adjustments, and then with your next exhalation, make any adjustments that need to happen. And then pause and notice and feel. And then again, when you exhale, move the sacrum in and the thighs back. So reach up one leg, that's it, and then reach up the other leg with it. Try and keep it a straight leg. That's it, and now reach the feet up. Lengthen the inner leg to the inner heel, all the way up to the ceiling. Then move the sacrum into the body and press the thighs back. Keep extending the calves to the heels, spread the soles of the feet, so the feet are not pointed, but they're also not flexed either. Then check what's happening in the thighs. Make sure that the frontal thighs are rolling in. So those feet look like they're turning out a little bit, some of you. So can you roll the thighs in? And that's it. And lengthen up the inner ankle to the inner heel. Relax your throat. Look in towards your chest. Feel your out breath in your abdomen. Watch your legs, see how they start to turn out again. Keep rolling them in. If it's hard, just have the feet hip width apart and move the sacrum into the body. Then join the legs. Irkapada, take your right foot to the chair. Keep the left leg stretching up to the ceiling. Keep both legs straight. Then raise that leg back up. Stretch both legs up, lift your back, and then stretch the left leg straight to the chair. And stretch both legs up. And some of you may want to come down to Halasana now, so come down to Halasana. Others maybe can stay maybe 30 seconds more. So come to Halasana. And then from here, you're going to come into Kanapidasana. So you're going to rest the tops of your feet on the seat of the chair and bend your knees either side of your ears. But you've got to be careful you don't do a backward roll. That's it. Yeah, perfect. You may want to keep your hands on your back. Let your knees hang down, Akiko. Your chair maybe is a bit far. What's happened to your feet? They've come off the chair. Keep the feet on the chair. That's it. Now bring your buttocks towards the chair. That's it. And now the knees go down either side of your ears. Feel your out breath in your abdomen. And when you want to come down, just roll down. And exhale to come down. Slide towards your feet, so your buttocks are resting on the block launch pad and your head and shoulders are resting on the shoulder stand support. Just move the launch pad so it's underneath the buttocks, so your back is raised. And then exhale and roll over to your side to come up. Then we're going to do Shavasana with our legs over a bolster. And a broad blanket for the back. So if you've got a blanket like that, you just put it in half. So it goes like that. And then before we go into it, you're going to sit up on the bolster and come forwards into Pashimo Talasana. And then we'll lie down like this. Try to lengthen the side body. With the feet apart, just gives you more breadth. Lengthen the armpits. Lengthen the armpits forwards, move the shoulder blades in. Feet hip width apart, not upavishta. Hip width, that's a bit too wide still. That's it, roll the thighs in. And extend forwards. And just look down. Just allow your back to spread. Feel your out breath in your abdomen. Move your back body towards your front body. With your out breath, feel your body lengthening forwards. And then when you next exhale, inhale and come up. And then lie down with your back along the support, so the buttocks are just near the edge of that blanket. You may want to have another blanket under the head, but you might not need it. So this blanket nestles into the lower back. Relax the legs, make sure the feet are on the floor so they're not hanging, or at least be on something. And rest the arms. See that the buttock flesh is not caught and is lengthening towards the feet. And feel your out breath in your abdomen. And then from the out breath in the abdomen, allow this to spread throughout your whole body. So let the location of the out breath in the abdomen be your point of concentration, attention, dharana. And then with that clarity, that sharpness of attention. Let your awareness expand to include the whole body. And whenever thoughts arise and come into your attention, slightly lengthen the out breath to capture your attention again. So whenever the mind wanders, just slightly intensify the out breath in the abdomen, so you can again notice it and bring your attention back to this place, to this dharana, this point of concentration. And then once you start to go deeply into this line of concentration, your awareness becomes sharp and you can now spread it to include the whole body. feeling your body as a whole. Lift your awareness up to the surface of your skin. And then rest your hands to your front body. And roll over to your right side. To come up to sitting. Namaste, thank you everyone. So today's class was the sap of the tree. So we had the roots in week 1, the trunk, the bark, the branches, the bark, and today is the sap. Looking at concentration, it's the sixth aspect of the 8 aspects of yoga. So the how concentration is at the heart of everything that we do. But it also can then be a seated practice where we're sitting and concentrating specifically on, let's say, our breathing. So next week it's meditation, but we're not going to be sitting for the whole hour and a half. It'll be meditation done in an active way. Well, reasonably active anyway. So have a good week, and if you can get hold of the Tree of Yoga, it's a great little book. Do I have it in here? Yes, I've got it in here. So you can buy it second hand often, and it's only £6 or something. BKS Iyengar's Tree of Yoga, and we've been going through chapter by chapter each week, and we've got 2 more chapters to go. And then we'll probably repeat it again from the beginning. So have a nice weekend if I don't see you before.
I have a question. Is it all right to ask? When we come out from Kanapidasana and you say rested your head on the platform,